A portion of this video is brought to you by Beam's Dream Powder. Click the link in the description or hang until the end of this video to hear more information about Dream. I am back. Had the flu, got sick while I was guest hosting for David Pakman. By the time I did the bonus episode for Pakman, my voice was just, I sounded like that character on The Simpsons, the pimply-faced teenager who's like the fry cook and everything, and he talks like this. That's kind of what my voice was like. So I'm glad to be back. Not 100%, but I got to come back. There's no paid sick days on YouTube. So here I am. Wear a mask, by the way. If you're out there, I think I got it when I had my CT scan for some screening for having had cancer a couple years ago. And I was in the waiting room for a while, waiting for my CT scan without a mask. And it's the only thing I can think of because I rarely leave the house. Normally. Anyway, let's talk about this. Another instance where Catherine Rampell, some of the networks have just brilliant communicators employed. At Fox, you've got Jessica Tarloff, who does an outstanding job of communicating the nonsense and fact-checking in real time. The ability to just have your brain be a storehouse for facts is a remarkable thing. I don't have that. I've got to have my notes everywhere, all around me to keep myself on track. And these people are just brilliant. The other one who does a great job is Catherine Rampell, who is now kind of a fixture on Abby Phillip on her show on CNN. And she is just, her full-time job, I think, is just dunking on Scott Jennings, the hayseed Scott Jennings, who is just so far up the asshole of Donald Trump that he can't even, when he comes out, his eyes have to take like 15 minutes to adjust to the daylight. That's how much he loves just being up inside the rectum of Donald Trump. And Catherine Rampell does not spare a moment to just crush him with logic. And what she does is just tell the truth about where Donald Trump is, that you don't have to actually concede anything to Donald Trump in a negotiation. All you need to do is give him the leverage to announce that he has victory, and he will run with it. And that's all he needs. He will claim victory when there's no victory. He will claim as though he bested his opponent in negotiation, when really the thing that was conceded had already been conceded months ago. In this case, we're talking about the border. We're talking about the 10 or 15,000 troops that were promised. We're talking about the tariff mitigation efforts on the part of Justin Trudeau that were already promised, that were already in the works before. Watch this clip, and then I'm going to give you several examples just from yesterday of Donald Trump, of this being the case for Donald Trump. I wish I had my shit together, but again, still in a NyQuil PM haze. Watch this brilliant moment from Catherine Rampell.
It's the uncertainty in the chaos.
First of all,
it's Trump
is trying to repackage the status quo as a victory. That's what the leaders of these foreign countries are learning. You don't actually have to give Trump anything.
You just have to make it seem like
you have to let him
something.
announce victory on TV. Second of all, it's not actually back to the status quo. It is worse than the status quo. As Richard points out, we have tarnished our relationships with our allies whose help we need to rein in China, which I know you care about. Beyond that, think about the additional uncertainty that's being added to the business environment right now. If you are a company and you don't know if tariffs are coming or they're not coming, you don't know if your input costs are going to go up or they're not going to go up,
That's true.
Why would you invest? Why would you invest in oil pipelines, for example, to Canada? I know you really care about the Keystone Pipeline, for example.
I mean, the one that Biden killed.
Yeah, that
You know that would be the oil coming from Canada, which Trump is now threatening to tariff.
But
why would any
we have a deal.
We have a 30-day deal for nothing.
You guys right.
Brilliant. Leaving Scott Jennings stuttering and stammering, trying to get the thought out in an absolutely just an inefficient way to try to defend Donald Trump. They've got another conservative congresswoman on the panel there. zipped shut, not saying anything, because it's impossible to defend Donald Trump. It's impossible to try to act like Donald Trump is just chalking up W after W, when really, in reality, it's either status quo or he's taken L's. In this next clip, it's Scott Jennings again talking about troops on the border and what Mexico has promised as a concession to Donald Trump, even though months ago it was established that these troops, even at a higher level than what Donald Trump is claiming victory for, were there. Watch this.
To change
No,
the subject
I'm not.
to Colombia.
I'm wrapping it all together. It's all part of the same thing.
Let's go back to what Trump got for threatening a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada. What did he get?
On Mexico, he got a permanent set of troops, not temporary, just during surges. He got permanent troops. And on Canada, let me tell you what he got. Let me tell you what he got.
You cannot just, hold up, you can't just like insert your own qualifications into this. Where does it say that it's permanent?
The White House told me tonight that the commitment they have from Mexico is that they will put permanent troops.
Do you know how many troops Mexico had on the border last year?
It goes up and down.
15,000.
It goes up and down. It's temporary. So now they're getting a permanent
let me ask you,
force.
is 10,000 more or less
is permanent better than temporary?
15,000?
You know what's more? You know what's more?
I love that. I love that. Well, how do you know that? How do you know they're permanent? Well, the White House told me. Her. Oh, the White House told you. The credible White House. Absolutely fantastic. Not the White House that's led by the liar who lied tens of thousands of times, verified lies over the course of his just 4 years in office the first time. Not that White House. No? Fantastic. We can skip ahead. We don't even have to go. Actually, it would be before this, where Caitlin Collins is talking about the measures that Donald Trump thinks he secured relative to our relationship with Canada, and gets fact-checked again exactly on this same thing, that the only thing Donald Trump is looking for is the appearance of a win, being able to go on TV and claim victory. So the MAGA crowd and the bulk of the American people who don't pay attention to the news because they're either too busy or too stupid, I don't know. But it's another instance of this victory on TV is the only thing that matters. Watch this.
Now we've just gotten this announcement from Trudeau himself, who I should note got out ahead of the White House in this. He said he had a good call with Trump. He said that Canada is going to be implementing a $1.3 billion border plan where they talk about reinforcing the border. I should note that's actually something that Trudeau announced and Canada announced back in December, about mid-December. But also in this announcement, Jake, he says that they are going to have frontline personnel working and protecting the border after concerns about fentanyl coming across. And he said that they are going to be appointing a fentanyl czar and that they will list cartels as terrorists and ensure 24/7 eyes on the border. I believe it is the fentanyl czar that is new here, but it's that last sentence, Jake, there at the end is the most important here. He says, proposed tariffs will be paused for at least 30 days while we work together.
I should note, she says, that's actually something that was announced back in December. Before the kerfuffle, before the tariff announcement, before creating a problem and then solving the problem that didn't exist. That's what Donald Trump's, that's what his claim to fame is. He creates a problem, then solves it, and then rah, Trump, you solve the problem that you yourself created. And it gives idiots in the House of Representatives, like Warren Davidson from Ohio, the radically, just insanely gerrymandered Ohio congressional districts. Warren Davidson goes on, and listen, these people are trained in media communication. They're trained on how to respond. They're trained on how to divert from answering a question and deflect. This guy apparently missed the class on how to do so, because even he is struggling to defend Donald Trump's record when presented with the facts. Watch this. Caitlin Collins, by the way, pulling double duty over there on CNN. She's the White House correspondent and also hosts The Source in the late night time slot or whatever time it is. I don't watch these shows live. So watch this moment where Warren Davidson just coming up with loss after loss.
It's ravaged hometowns. Everyone understands the fentanyl crisis. But one, the amount of fentanyl that comes from Canada is nowhere near the scale of the southern border. A lot of it comes through legal ports of entry. But on this specifically, he called this off, saying that he had won concessions from both of them, but Is there a tangible concession in your view?
Yeah, absolutely. He won the concessions, and part of it is it's a commitment from Trudeau that wasn't there to help with fentanyl, to help with the black market,
Well, he announced the plan
and to secure the border.
He announced that plan though 6 weeks ago, back in December.
Well, at least he's reiterated it and formalized it.
Yeah, he announced that plan those 6 weeks ago. Well, at least he's reiterated it. What? Is that a defense? Donald Trump created the problem that he's now solving. Shut your mouth. We're going to go with one more, and this is not even on CNN. This is not even with a conservative. This is the Canadian ambassador to the United Nations pushing back against Bret Baier, the same thing of Donald Trump taking his wins on TV. And he's talking about these expenditures that Canada has announced were promised many weeks ago.
Security goes down.
Clearly, the administration sees it as a movement today with Mexico and Canada promising a lot that they weren't promising before.
Not true in our case. I mean, can only speak very directly on this. We've had candid conversations with the administration for a long time on what we felt we could do and what we felt needed to be done, not just for you, but also for us. And many of those expenditures were already announced by the Prime Minister many weeks ago.
Look, the chaos that we are currently living under is dangerous, and it absolutely will have a deleterious effect on people's lives. These policies, allowing Elon Musk to run rampant through our treasury system, the financial payment systems that they've co-opted, that they've just broken into with no authority from Congress. They're trying to eliminate departments of our government without, you cannot. What if Donald Trump said Congress is no longer a thing? That would take amending the Constitution. Donald Trump doesn't have authority because he's not a king to do certain things. And eliminating departments of our government does not fall under his constitutional purview. It just does not. So all of these people who are defending Donald Trump at all costs, this is again, not even a slow-moving coup. This is an attempt to restructure our government. It is wholly unconstitutional. It is an attempt to overthrow the government from within the government. I would welcome your comments on this. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. You can email me, daily@dollemore.com. I am happy to be back, as poorly as I still feel. It's good to be back in the chair, in my squeaky chair. And then it doesn't really squeak that much. Anyway, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. I am marching my way slowly, some days quicker than others, toward 1 million subscribers. And you could be the one that puts me over the edge. I love and appreciate you very much. I will see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another. Do you, like me, struggle with your sleep? It doesn't take much to upend my sleep routine, and the work that I do certainly isn't helping. Believe me, I know the story. If you're lucky, you get the bare minimum, but some nights you hardly sleep at all. Not only is it terribly frustrating in the moment, the lack of sleep also wreaks havoc the following day. Your energy levels, your mood, your concentration, all of these things hinge upon getting the proper amount of rest. And then the mounting anxiety of facing another potentially sleepless night. That's why I'm so excited to talk about Beam's Dream Powder, a science-backed healthy nighttime blend for sleep that is clinically shown to improve sleep and have you waking up refreshed. Dream will help you feel your best every single day. And what better time to get into a new routine than at the top of the new year? Try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder now and experience the sleep refresher you've been daydreaming about. Get up to 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Dollemore and use code Dollemore at checkout. Other sleep aids can cause next day grogginess, but Dream contains a powerful all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. A good night's sleep is everything. Head to shopbeam.com/Dollemore now and use code Dollemore at checkout to score 40% off their best-selling dream powder. That's shopbeam.com/Dollemore and use code Dollemore to save. You can make the dream of better sleep a reality with Beam.